Welcome back. The number of people confirmed dead following heavy rain in KwaZulu-Natal has risen to 6. A child is among those reported to be missing. Provincial MEC for Cooperative Governance, Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, says disaster teams are on the ground assisting affected communities. The hardest hit areas are mostly in the south of the province, where there's been extensive damage to homes and infrastructure collapses. Roads are also flooded. Emergency services are at 2 different scenes searching for victims believed to be buried under mudslides. In the north of the province, search and rescue teams have resumed the search for a grade 8 pupil who was swept away while trying to cross a river on his way to school yesterday. For more on this story, we cross to SABC News reporter Nonjabulo Mntungwa-Makamu. Nonjabulo, thank you so much for your time. Once again, a terrible tragedy has befallen the province. Where are you now, and what have people said to you about how everything is unfolding and how they're feeling?
Well, yes, greetings to you, Diabo. Yes, we are reporting to you live from Adams Mission. Now, this is the second location that we are visiting as the SABC. Remember that earlier this morning we were at KwaMakuta, where a similar incident had occurred. There was a mudslide, and apparently the sand, it crashed into one of the houses there and burying a 40-year-old man alive. The family, we've spoken to them, Diabo, they did say that they tried by all means to rescue him, but they couldn't until the rescue emergency services were able to actually retrieve his body. He has died in that tragic incident. Now in this location here, not very far, just about 16 minutes away from the first location here at Adams Mission, another incident is said to have occurred due to the heavy rains. If my colleague Nati Zimela can just pen to the house where a couple, a mother and as well as a father who died tragically when a mudslide crashed into their home. We have received information that it was this couple as well as their children. Fortunately, Diabo, the children did survive. They have now been taken to a place of safety. We've spoken to the family. They did say that at this point in time they can't speak to us because they're still trying to take some statements. This area has been cordoned off and the family is actually very devastated. But just to speak to us more, Diabo, on this incident, it is of course the councillor of this area, Mr. Makanya. Mr. Makanya, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Just take us through when this incident happened and how is the feeling, the mood here in this community.
Thank you so much. Greetings to everyone. This situation actually happened in the morning, early in the morning, around 3:30, according to what I've heard from one of the communities or from one of the community members that came earlier than me. It happened around 3:30, and the entire community is not well. We are very painful about the situation. Though we do understand that this situation, it was unavoidable because nobody knows. It just happened. In other words, I could say it was just a God's decision. But it is not acceptable, and we feel like we have done something before. Well, we know that it was unable to be like that. Yeah.
Mr. Makanya, now let's just speak about how bad is the damage in this area of Adams Mission. I know when we were making our way here, we were struggling to actually get to this particular location. Just give us some sense and some sort of a picture as to how bad is the damage, not just only to this household, but in other areas within your ward.
Yeah. Hey. The damage is very big in the entire ward. It's not just only this area. Just here, there are 2 people who died. Then on the other areas, there is a lot of people who have reported through the phone to me that their houses are down. So I still have to go and look at those conditions and see what we can do. But the ward is in a very serious problem because of this disaster that took place last night. But we're hoping that municipality will intervene where it's possible, or if I may put it that way, because if I'm looking at the condition of this place where this house was built, according to my view or my take will be that there should be no house that will be built at this place like this, because the first thing I noticed, this sand here is loose. Even if you can rebuild that house, if you're rebuilding that house in the very same location, you still experience the very same problem. So we rather, at least as a local leadership, speak to the traditional leadership to intervene by maybe relocating these people to another places, because not only this family, there is a couple of families that is in line with this family, of which I can see that if the condition of climate condition keeps on like this, all those families will be in the same problem. So I think us as a leadership will have to speak to the traditional leadership to try to save the next families who might find themselves in the very same condition in the near future. And I think that is urgent. We'll have to see with the leadership of the land. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makanya. Well, Diabo, that is the councillor of this ward, Mr. Makanya, who just gave us some sort of a picture in the entire situation and the damage that this area is actually facing due to the heavy rains. And of course, you'd heard him there speaking about the issue of trying to move some of the people here. You remember, Diabo, that earlier this week, the MEC for Human Settlements, Mr. Sponiso Duma, did say that as the provincial governments, they are working hard to try and identify land to actually build houses for the victims, or shall I say the survivors of the 2022 floods. And he did say that they have identified about 12 portions of land, but we will hear as to the communities that are here, how are they going to try and assist and accommodate them. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Thanks, Nonjabulo Mntungwa-Makamu out in KZN.